Let's say you want to remove a client no longer using any Commvault in Command Center. So click on Servers under Manage Servers, and you find the client you want to remove. So you can either release a license or you can retire it, because retire means you're not going to use it again. Release license means you might use it again eventually. So we're going to click on the three buttons, click on Retire, and type in Retire. Click Retire, and it's going to say a message. Email has been sent to authorize. So that's like a workflow essentially. So what is a workflow? In Command Center, you click under workflows or developer tools, right, for that matter. Where we're going to get to is delete the agent essentially. So in that workflow, if you click on delete agent authorization, this is just a workflow. Here's what it looks like essentially. So it's going to start, it's going to set the variables, impersonate the creator, associate with the executable list, and then it's going to go through these steps to enable to delete it. It's also going to ask to process a request from a user or authorization essentially. So the same person that put it in to delete it can't authorize it to delete it. It has to be somebody else. That's not accurate. More accurate is the same person can delete it, however, it has to have an action being taken. So you have to authorize that delete it to be deleted. So we're going to go into the CommServe itself, and I'm going to show you here. So it's going to be right here, window 4. What you would see is this. You would see job controller show up. And since we just clicked on retire, we didn't delete it, we just retire, which effectively does pretty much the same thing, although we're not removing it yet. So we're just going to right click or open it. This is job controller. So that just tells us where it's at. So delete client authorization. It's waiting status, is waiting to get their authorization. And can't find a host name because you're in a lab environment. Of course, you're not going to have an email server set up. And in your agent here, let's see what it says. It says impersonate user. Okay, switch get process. Yeah, get process and authorization. All right. So in order to complete this, you're in a lab environment. Like, what did I do? I don't know. Click on the workflows in the CommServe browser, CommCell browser, and click on interactions. And then refresh. This is the get process authorization. Retire client requested by Commvault user. Get process authorization. Double click on it and click accept. So it's completed. Look in your client groups, and it's going to show it as not there, not present anymore. 04 is what it was at. So retire and delete is different. Usually in the past, if you retired a client, let's say we want to retire 03 because we're not using that anymore. Right? Yeah, we're not using it. So right click, you have all tasks, retire client. You can release client, retire client. So we'll click on retire client. Retire. Yeah, no, emails are going to be sent. We know that. Yep, fine. Interactions under workflows. Okay, open that up. Accept. You permitted. Yeah, you're not permitted. So I'm under Commvault admin here, right? So now I'm under Commvault user on this side. So again, I click on interactions under workflows. Double click on it and accept. And it's processed. 2 different users. I'm not sure exactly why, but there you go. Now, I did that on 03, so I should see it retired. 03. Okay. Yeah, it's been retired. Now, when I retired it in the command center, it removed it. But when I retired it in the ComServe browser, it removed it as well. Okay, that's a new one. So in the past, if you retired a client, it doesn't remove it from ComServe like it did now. That may be because it is offline, meaning the agent's offline, the server itself's offline. It could be there was never any backups of it, but that's very odd for that to happen. And when I worked for MSP, that never happened. Even I had a client that I retired, it didn't automatically delete like that. It could be data aging, but in my experience working for MSP, when I retired a client, I had to. Well, we had backups though. That's the thing, and they didn't age off. Even if they did age off the backups, the retention policy, the backups age off. The clients didn't delete themselves like they did now here. So how do we find that out? Let's go to events, event viewer, refresh. Event viewer. I guess I'm not saving events long enough. Right, all right. Take a look at job history here. Jobs. And job history. Here we go. Okay. All right. So ComServe. I would say I'm not doing DDB backups, whatever, because I'm just not. It's not efficient, essentially. The media agent's offline right now. This media agent's offline. Oh, show admin. Here we go. This is what I want to see. Show admin jobs. All right. Delete client. Okay. So obviously I authorized that. So I delete the client. So take a look at it. All right. So temps. Okay. Yeah. Inputs. Events. To me, that's a little interesting. Deleting a client. You're just retiring it. You're not deleting it. And now I get it that they don't have backups on it. I'll have to test it out. I'll put some backups on a client and then see if it deleted it essentially. Yeah, I'll have to do that. Very interesting in that one. Yeah, they're changing their but you can see from here both normally how it will work is this. I'll show you exactly how you would do it in like real time. If you're working at a company, how are you going to do it? I won't be able to do it. I have any clients, but anyway, you would do this. Well, I can do it to this one. Yeah, it's fine. So you would go and you go release license for client. And you would just remove it. So you're releasing the license for the client. That's all you're doing, releasing. And then you have delete. So normally what would I do when I worked for MSP is they say, okay, hey, the customer's not sure if they want to use this client in the future, but we'd like to release the license. The reason we want to release the license is the cost involved. Let's say, for instance, we have 1,000 clients or something, and we're charging the customer X amount of dollars per license, let's just say. And so every month, the customer just wants not to have that license, or they don't want to use that client for whatever reason. Could be file system, SQL, whatever. And what we would do is we would just right click and we would remove the license essentially. So that would just remove the license for them. We wouldn't charge them. And then later on, if we got a hint that said, hey, we're going to bring it back in a couple months or something, we would just release the license. That way, all we do, if we needed to bring it back, we would just reconfigure it. And if it's offline for a while, there's a couple of things that you have to do as well. But nonetheless, that's what we would do. Now, if we wanted to delete it completely, this is what we do. All tasks, we would release a license, and then we would delete it because we're no longer going to need it anymore. Delete it. And it's going to permanently delete. Now, if you had any backups on it, they'd be gone. I do not recommend doing this in a production environment, only in a lab environment, because it could be a resume generating event. Yeah. And what I would do, I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Oh, yeah, okay. Obviously, it's sent an email out, hey, please authorize this. Yeah, fine. Double click. Cannot find hostname mail server. It's been requested by blah, blah, blah. And if you want to find out like reports, job summary, who deleted what or when they deleted it, you can just click on event ID. Audit trail. Yeah, I think it's audit trail. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I had a bunch of users there. Anyway, delete. So type in delete, 7 days, whatever, run. Yeah, and this is going to yield like a report. Deleted. So you have when did I delete? I deleted users earlier. So I just wanted to see how it worked, but I deleted users. Several users. Anyway, so this client was deleted here. Commvault Win 05. And you can see it here. Who deleted it, what time, by whom, what username, what Commvault user deleted it. That'll help you out when you go and you look down who did what to your CommServe. But back to here. We have to approve this. So we go to workflows, interactions, and double click on it and accept. Oh, I don't have permission. Fine. I'll log in over here as the Commvault user. Same thing. Double click on it, click accept, and thank you very much. So now that the clients are not there anymore, so you have Wind 01, that client is gone. Yeah. So I left with the media agent, the CommServe laptop, and the gateway. Yeah. eventually, I think what Commvault's going to do is they want to go to this command center, and maybe 5 years from now, I don't know what it is, but they've been wanting to get off of Java console for a while, which this is Java console, if you don't know, the command center. So they want to get it to this point where they have it on the command center. Yeah, the thing about command center, it's not the same as the Java console. You can't do as many things, in my view anyway. Now, if I used it more, maybe I would think otherwise. And if you've never used Java console, then you would know. This is what you'd know here. And yeah, I did in the past. I did add a bunch of users in Commvault, and I have to delete them. I got to find a way to delete them all. Delete clients. There's no way, like I said a couple of videos ago, you're not going to have 2,000 users in your CommServe. It's just not possible. It normally doesn't happen. Maybe 500 users max from a company. If you're an MSP, you're going to have like maybe maximum 500, let's say, which would mean like 100 people from your company and maybe 400 customers, let's say. That would be maybe like a CIO or CTO, and then maybe an admin or a system admin, system engineer, something like that, just to do restores and maybe pull reports. That's it. But 2,000 users in CommServe. Your CommServe, you'd have how many thousands of clients essentially, and your CommServe would be gigantic. You can imagine. The database itself in the CommServe, if you had thousands of clients, it's possible, but it's a giant CommServe. Your database probably is 100 gigs, something like that. I'm going to guesstimate, of course. And as long as everything runs fine, it's manageable. But when you get up to 10,000, 20,000 users, or not users, clients on a CommServe, it takes a lot of planning ahead of time. It just can't be one person doing it. You can't just have like a sysadmin and task them, hey, sysadmin, please take care of this CommServe. And by the way, architect everything and come up with a solution so that we can push it out. And by the way, get it done next week. Call the vendor up, get a quote. And then we'll start the process by next week. And like 6 months later, you come to realize we just under-provisioned this thing so much. Oh my goodness. Because it's just giant. So many things with CommServe that you can do. And a lot of MSPs, it's a full-time staff. The company I worked for, I was a full-time staff. I was mostly Commvault. All the time Commvault. That's mostly all I did. I had I think 6 CommServes, something like that. I don't know. I had more than that, but mostly I had 6 CommServes, and I logged into vCenter, logged in the CommServe. I had access to customers' vCenter, just the read-only access. What else did I have? Active Directory, DNS. I had configured those things for customers. Some customers are different, as you probably know if you work in Commvault or if you've done it before. If you work for MSP, every customer is different, and you might not touch a customer for a month. A month goes by, you're like, what did I do? I don't know. I forgot. Forget everything. You forgot how to interact with them, email. So you save your emails. You save how you did things in OneNote so that you can reference like, oh, right. Last time I talked to a customer, here's how they like to interact. So some customers, they just want you to tell the issue. Tell me the issue, tell me the problem, and fix it. Okay, fine. Some customers like, okay, I don't care. Just fix it. Just get it working. I don't care. That's what I pay for. That's how they do. And then some customers want to know, hey, what are you doing? And they want to, like, for instance, we had one customer, they wanted to do their own replacement of hard drives. So we sent up we called the vendor and we had them ship out a replacement drive. Is a RAID 5, so just one hard drive had failed. So we had the vendor send out a replacement hard drive to the customer. The customer swapped it. And the customer requested it, of course, even though we had an agreement with our company that replaced the hard drives. The customer still wanted to do it. And that's okay, because the customer gets what they want because they pay for it. That's what customer wants it. That's what happens. And as long as they paying for the service, we're going to abide with whatever request they have in that regard. Yeah, some other customers, some of them will, some say they have a data center, let's say, which is data center to them. It's just a small closet with like a 48U rack and maybe 4 servers, something like that, with the UPS or a APC power supply. It's a if they lose power, the UPS takes over and shuts down the servers softly, so you don't have a hard your servers don't go down hard. And yeah, sometimes what'll happen is, this has happened to me a couple of times. Customer, the media agent, it's got 2 power cords on it, so A and B, let's say. And you get an alert in ServiceNow if one of your power connections are offline, whatever reason. So the first thing you think is, oh, it's probably a power supply issue, right? So what you do is you go to ILO or the iDRAC. In this case is ILO. You go to ILO, you log in ILO, HP, and you look at the ILO and you say, oh, I show it's faulty. I show it's down. So the first thing you do is you put a ticket with HP, and then you just get it ready. Okay, I have a power supply failure on this server, et cetera, et cetera. At the same time, you call the customer or you email the customer, or both, and say, we show that the server is one of the power supplies is offline. Can you go and check to see if that's just unplug and plug it back in? And customer, what'll happen 9 times out of 10, the customer will say, oh, right, we had somebody else in that server room and they must have bumped the cable or something, which happens, or they must have unplugged it for whatever reason. Or they'll say, oh, well, we needed that power cord for another switch or something, or we didn't have enough power bays or whatever, so we used your power bay. Oh, thank you. And so you've covered both bases. You have the ticket in, and then you just call HP or email them and say, we no longer need the ticket because we determined that it's just the power source to the server is offline. It's not the power supply itself, and that's a good thing. And if you did have to replace power supply, of course you would do a in ServiceNow you would do a, what is it called? It's a change request, right? You do a change request. And usually those are automated. It's a standard change request, so it doesn't take CAB, like a change action board, to process it. It's a known thing. You have a template, like change hard drive. It's a template, so it's just automatic approval. Essentially, you don't have to get special approval. Same things with patching. If you need to patch the media agents themselves at the customer sites, you're not using BigFix, you're not using WSUS or something like that. Like it's an out-of-band media agent essentially that you would use. You would have a standard template or a standard change request in. So anytime you could do that. Usually do those on the weekends after Friday, after like 7 p.m. East Coast time, something like that. And you'd get done. Maybe you'd try to get done before, like we had, I won't say how many, but we had many server media agents. And what I did was I started at, say, 7 right away, or 6 sometimes. And I would just, at 6 p.m. on East Coast time, and I would just patch like 5 servers, let's say, and it takes like an hour in some cases just to patch a thing. And then you put in logic monitor. You have a SDT, which is a basically it's like you're turning off monitoring for a certain amount of time, because if you don't and the server reboots, you're going to get a bunch of tickets. Like this server rebooted, and you get a bunch of tickets, a bunch of P2 tickets. So instead of that, you just put basically turn off monitoring essentially in logic or turn off alerting, I should say, not monitoring, just turning off alerting. So it doesn't alert anybody that you're doing it. And you put the notes in like per change request, etc. Per change request, blah, 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 Windows patching on this media agent, whatever. And you have that in a notepad so you can copy and paste it multiple times. And what I did is I had a Excel spreadsheet for these media agents, and I would have them listed as the hostname, IP address, ILO IP address, the model of them, and I would have like a little box where I check the hard drives, a little box where I check the ILO, a little box where I check the RAID configuration, and a checkbox where I check the computer management, and I'd reboot it. I'd do patches and all that stuff and reboot it. And then I would go in and just check, because sometimes it's happened before where the ILO didn't come back up, or the RAID, we lost a RAID configuration, whatever reason, or we lost some drives. All you do is right click and put the drives back online. That's happened a couple times. The reason I have the serial number too in the Excel spreadsheet, it's not online, it's SharePoint essentially. It's just an Excel spreadsheet on SharePoint. But I put the serial number and then the model number in case I need to go and put a ticket in for that particular model number or particular server. I have the serial number, and that's helped me out tremendously. I saved probably maybe 30 minutes per server, something like that, by doing that. So 30 minutes times X amount of servers, you're going to save quite a bit of time. Yeah, some servers the bandwidth is pretty low. And the other thing I did was in that Excel spreadsheet, I wrote down the actual speed. So I did a speed test at the site, and I wanted to know what the speeds were. And so I did a speed test. So I know reference point for next time. The higher the bandwidth, I can do these Windows patches real quick, and it's going to take a long time. And the clients that had a lot of speed, I know that I can get those done quickly. And so I would do those sometimes on Sunday night and get them knocked out. Usually it took a weekend to complete all these. So you'd have to patch them, restart once or twice. And, then you'd have to make sure in CommServe that you pause the backup jobs or pause any jobs that were going on for that particular client. And you didn't have any DDB backups going on, any jobs really, aux copies, etc. You didn't have going on when you were doing those backups or those Windows patchings. In the further video, I'm going to be setting up DB2, so IBM Database 2, DB2, and Oracle DB, and Microsoft SQL. All the agents on one. It's going to be on one server. It's going to be on that MA01. I have to install the file system again on it, and then after that, I'll probably do a video on. I'm still working on the Kubernetes stuff and getting Kubernetes working in CommServe, along with Docker, kind of just trying to figure out how I can back up Kubernetes in Docker. Create a Kubernetes CommServe, essentially. So using Kubernetes, have an instance of Commvault in Kubernetes so that I can use it for backups. Again, I don't know why anybody would want to do that, but that's what that's what it's there for. Thanks a lot. We'll see you in the next one.